Force GTX 860.
Yep. So,
I've got a good setup, but I think yours is a little bit better.
yep. Just for recording purposes, this is the engineering pilot ship. Just pulling it out to look at it. It's the Fed version, obviously.
Are you in space?
I am in space.
I'm coming back then. I want to see it.
This thing has some great graphics, and obviously you see some other people flying around in theirs, having fun, testing out and enjoying the speeds. This thing actually looks really nice. I actually am quite impressed in how they did some looks on these.
So I still say it looks like a Packard ship.
Yeah, it kind of has a combination of a few different things that don't look like they should be there. Like on the front, especially. I mean, what's going on with the front there? I mean, did Tom design this and put his own little special cooling system in this thing that decided he didn't want to show the water cooling pipes on this, or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, our water cooling pipes make us go.
That's the eddies, by the way.
Oh, wow. That's one heck of a graphic.
That is. And could you imagine having a bunch of people lighting those off at once?
Yeah, and what was it? Those things are kinetic damage.
Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot of damage overall. I mean, they're only showing 155 kinetic damage per second. It increases as you get closer to the center of the eddy, and the eddies kind of move a little bit. The benefit they have is you get 3 of them that gets created. 5 if you got the full console bonus. It pulls ships in from about 2.7 kilometers away. So,
well, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, I would think that would be almost a perfect ISA ability. Once you draw them in with gravity well, you have someone fly in, do the eddies right there near the gravity well.
Yeah, and you can do trajectory so that you're keeping focus on the center of things. Or better yet, if PvP was ever to come alive again, the eddies would be one way of showing the enemy.
True.
Because it's only got like a 30 to 45 second timer on it. So I'm going to switch ships real quick, and I'm going to pull out the tactical, the USS Annie.
Annie. Are you okay, Annie?
So I'm just doing a quick little starship switching here. And do a little spin around it, and like I said,
that's the one I like the most.
Yeah, these ships, I mean, this one is very nice overall, and if you did the right combination, kind of like what I did in the on the Romulan science vessel, where I changed the look and kind of combined them, it actually became a decent look on it overall.
True.
This one here is kind of a nice look to it by itself. So far, though, I have to say I like them all. They all look really nice. They're all really fun ships, and you can see different hard points on these things as you look at them.
True.
So,
I do like that design. I will Viper fighter fired, but works.
Yep. So, yeah, this one here was like it was basically just designed to give you something to look at. In fact, I would say the Fed versions are probably the best of the looking batches of them. Not having looked at the Federation ones yet, I should say. And then there's the micro projectors.
That is a nice.
It is, isn't it?
that looks awesome to
me. As Odin pointed out, it looks like a bunch of fireworks.
Like,
And
give me that as a passive ability.
well, it's got a 2 minute cooldown on it, so it's not like it's a quick little thing that you can do twice in a single instance. And there's someone doing the eddies again.
He fired off the torpedoes. It's got the multi.
Yeah, you can stack up everything. So there's the eddy console. I get that one there. So I don't see.
Like it. Ooh.
I wonder if that was the spatial sinkhole. Because that's the eddy.
I mean, it looks like. I'm not trying to be fanboy, but it does look like they did put a lot of good work.
Yeah, I think they did a great job on the graphics on these. I will say that without a doubt.
And considering traits, the traits came out fairly well from what I've seen.
Yep.
So it looks like they're starting to go in a different direction, and it's very refreshing.
Well, the interesting thing is this, the trait here on this one here, the tactical, is to stay on target. Well, a target is a 90-degree forward arc once per 4 seconds. So that means every 4 seconds that you got that person on the nose of your ship, basically, 2,832 kinetic damage.
Really?
Free damage.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's a fantastic trait for an escort.
Yeah. And I can keep people within the nose of my scimitar very easily with ISA. I can keep the cube, spears, I keep everything within that 90-degree arc. And if I'm doing an extra 3,000 points of kinetic damage on top of everything that I'm doing already,
absolutely.
I mean, it only boils down to like 600 points of 800 points of damage that you're doing, but still,
every little bit helps, and if it's free damage ticking away,
oh yeah, who's going to complain about that?
Yeah.
So I think these ships are going to be interesting in the DPS world.
Of course. Just for me, for example, I'm seriously considering the size ship for the armor pin, but at the same time, just little bits of each one of them intrigue me, where I want to try them all.
So that's something a little bit different that I didn't see on the Romulan ship. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I wasn't looking.
Okay. If you're ready, let me know.
I'm ready. Ooh.
You see that?
You went to the side.
Went to the side, but they got the thrusters doing all that stuff.
Do it again. Holy crap. Now that is what I call a KVA avoider. Because you do that when Janatra decloaks to do her Thaleron pulse, and you're jumping. It looks like you're jumping about 3 to 3.5 kilometers to the side.
Or more.
More. That is perfect for dodging. Be able to get out of her radius quick.
So here I am about 4.5 kilometers away from you right now.
I'm watching. And you jump to 1.5. It's a full 3-kilometer jump.
Yep.
That is nice. Yeah, it's looking like each ability does about 3 to maybe 4 kilometers.
Yeah, it's about 3 to 4 kilometers that you're doing on things. So I'm gonna
retro rockets.
Yeah, and what's nice about this, like I said, I didn't see this on the Romulan side of things, was that you actually see the thrusters because it's the Federation ship and it's actually got engines and such.
Oh yeah.
The Romulan didn't do that as well.
Now, and this was something I was thinking about. With DPS not just being damaged but also being distanced, would this be pretty good to have? You go into ISA you're the first one to the cube, you're unleashing, getting all the threat, well then all of a sudden you pop retro rockets and you're further back. You could actually lessen the threat against you while they're kicking in.
Yes. The other thing that you can be looking at doing with this, for example, say if I was firing at you and I'm getting a little too close, and all of a sudden, oh, oops, I've gone past you. Not anymore.
Yes, and that's just ice.
And how much does that happen to people? How many times are you sitting there not paying attention to your throttle, and next thing you know, you've gone past your target point, and you're like, oh crap, now I gotta go do something. Well, here we go.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that would have been very useful during that ISA run for my channel with my Fleet Avenger, to be able to pop a retro rocket and come back into the field of fire.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of those things. These are things that should have been in the game from the very beginning. There's no way these should have not been there. You know, so...
Because just the mechanics alone for Pilot is something that we should have seen. Never mind the ships, never mind the trade. Just the mechanics of being able to dodge like that for an escort should have been a staple from the beginning.
Yeah, these are all things that the ship should have already had. I'm going to see if I can get a right dead so it shows 0 kilometers. So I'm going to go backwards and see how far it takes. 4.9.
That's an impressive jump.
Alright.
0. And 4.
Yeah, I got 4.19. And you know, I'm getting people all over. How's it going? How's the ship? But it's like, love it, man.
Yeah. I'm liking just what I'm seeing from your play. When I get mine, I'm gonna get the science or the trait. But from what I'm seeing, the design is crisp. It looks good. My opinion, it looks like a Defiant mated with an Intrepid, as far as the lines and everything. But it's got a good design. It's got a good setup, and these pilot abilities are worth having on an escort.
Yes.
But it's been a long time since I've heard you excited about a starship, whether it be on the forums or in here.
Yeah, these are probably some of the first ships that I'm really excited about. And it's not about the DPS matter in this case. In this case, it is not about the DPS. It's just, I need to make this very clear. These are not my DPS chasers. Maybe on my Fed it might become a DPS chaser. Unfortunately, it doesn't equip my one money-making console that I would like to have, which is the Nadion Saturation Bomb. If it could equip that, then this would be my DPS chaser, without a question. Unfortunately, not quite.
Yeah.
So, but overall, these ships were well done by Cryptic as far as the design. The stabilities, I think, are great. And once the lag clears up and we can actually see the true DPS that these things are able to do and the right setups, I think we're going to have some interesting change of things that needs to get done in the DPS channels.
Oh, of course. I mean, once the lag fully clears up and we can have the true values, I mean, I'm sure with my Avenger and my Odyssey, I could do 35 plus, and it is a goal of mine to be able to have at least one ship that can do 50k. It is a goal of mine, and I think once I work on my piloting, I can do it. But you'll be able to truly see what these pilot abilities lag-free can do in a DPS run, even on a non-DPS chaser like you're saying for the USS Annie.
Yeah, and with this being the tactical version, I mean, it is essentially the same as the Scimitar as far as the buff setup and the 4 weapon setup. The aft weapons, a little less than desirable. The lack of the of a carrier setup, you know, less than desirable because of that factor. But it's not like it's killing the ship as a whole. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing here. I mean, for me, this ship has brought back the fun of what the game was about.
And I can see that. I mean, just from you playing around on my screen right here, you can actually see yourself going in an ISA, and as soon as you get up to the cube, sidestep it with a barrel roll, and come back around with evasive maneuvers, and you're actually dogfighting. And
Yeah.
that is something that I think with smaller ships should be mandatory. With shuttles, escorts,
You can make this thing dance.
yeah. And that's what it should do. It should be that escorts, and then maybe this is just me, escorts that come out from here on out should have innate pilot abilities. Maybe not pilot seating, all that's dependent, but all escorts should have the pilot UI, just like all carriers have the carrier UI. And just because it makes your escort feel more like an escort.
Exactly. And it's amazing what this is going to be a new dynamic, because if they can even make it so that there's a scimitar similar ship, namely being, you take the scimitar base and you make the ship a little flatter, and then you throw on a pilot ability, I think that would be a step up for the scimitar, and it would be a ship that I would drop in a heartbeat if it has these pilot abilities.
Oh, I could just see a scimitar, maybe the same size, maybe slightly different design, just with retro rockets or afterburners. That would be scary, especially if you're one to play PvP. But you're going in an instance, and all of a sudden you see a massive ship just easily transwarping away to you.
Yeah, the afterburners and the retro should have been on every single ship at least. But I think when it comes down to it, if they made a sleeker, slimmer scimitar, but kept all the current features, kept it with the hangar, kept it with the 5.3, kept it with the buff setup, and change it up a little bit, make it so that the ensign position is now a lieutenant spot, and throw on the command pilot seat, and left it at that. You don't even have to make it a lieutenant hybrid seat. You can just leave it with the tact hybrid seat with the pilot setup, hangar bay, a sleeker, slimmer design. Maybe make it something a little more terrifying to look at if someone was to see a ship decloak. The scimitar should have been something that you see decloak, you're like, you want to step back and crawl in a hole.
Yeah,
all right. When I look at it, I don't do that. I mean, even if I look at like Felician's scimitar build when he was doing 180k DPS, which I will say, as much as I liked that and thought it was impressive, it made me want to stop being a DPS person.
Yeah.
Because at that point it was like, why even try even further?
Yeah, I mean that amount of DPS, it's basically, you don't even have to touch your keyboard. You're just look at it and everything explodes and the instance is over in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I've gone many times with them, and I feel like that. It's amazing just to see how fast those things just simply die.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch factions real quick here for the last part of this video here, and I'm going to pull up the KDF ships.
Alright, I'll join you with my KDF.
I should be on the first city still.
Let's see. I'm loading up. My KDF is one that I haven't really built that much. But
that's one of the hesitations that I had, and I'll have to pull up the a couple other things because I actually got the iconic ship set too. But one of the hesitations that I had was showcasing the pilot ships on the KDF, because sadly my guy is so not even close to being battle ready for anything that it's insane. I feel ashamed on it almost. Um, because seriously, he's level 50. This is a pre-DR setup. See if I got. I don't even have maximum. I got to go find out what ships I can get rid of first here, real quick.
I'm just playing around in the Beta Quadrant. Actually, I meant Japori.
Yeah, so you're over that direction. Yeah, shipyard. And I'm hoping from the looks of the ships look like they're a true KDF Raptor.
Style.
And that's one of the nice things is each of the ships technically, in my opinion, despite everyone hating like the Romulan look and design, they are still based upon their faction ships.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing the KDF because I want to see they're working on it. Can you make one of them look like I think they can, which is a bird of prey? Now, I know it won't look exactly, but from what I'm seeing in the parts, you can make one look like a bird of prey.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yep.
Maybe warp to Kronos. Where's Kronos?
So I'm getting rid of a couple of ships here. These are ships that I've had since start.
Which ones are you getting rid of?
A couple of the first generation ships. Oh, I got a plasmatic leech that I have not taken off the ship.
Careful with that.
Well, it's KDF, so I can just reclaim it.
True. I have about 5 stacks.
See, one of the problems that I have is a lot of my early captains, I never got rid of a single ship. Simple as that. I mean, I even got ships I haven't even upgraded up to the T5U yet in the sky. And there are the free T5U upgrades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how bad I am on this. But I was, like I said, this is one of those ones that I barely even touched, and it's time to at least pull out to look at these ships. I have a little fun. I'm just pulling them out. This is stock vanilla style and setup. Alright,
I'm in orbit above Kronos. Kronos 2.
That's where I'm at.
Where are you? This would be... Huh. You're not in my friends list for some reason in this character.
Interesting. I have you on my list.
Well, bring me in the group. That way I can see these Klingon ships up front. Weird. Aha.
You know, where the heck over there?
I'm with everybody else. You're in the middle of nowhere near the captain's table.
Yeah, they always like to drop me off in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, my Vorchild will find you.
So I want to back off a little way, see if I can get away from this beam to First City and Klingon Academy prompts.
Right here.
There we go.
Zoom in a little bit. Of course, I've got the green with the blood red. Fine. Back up.
See, these almost look almost identical.
That's actually, yeah. Huh. That is very close to a tiny Vorcha.
Yep.
And the impulse engines are interesting looking.
Yes, they are.
Now I do have to ask. Now that I'm looking at these, the extensions from the front of the warp nacelles, are those weapon hardpoints?
That is an interesting question. I would imagine so.
Because that's what they look like. I know you haven't tested them, but they look like they could either be dual beam bank or cannons.
Yeah, and I imagine that they are just that.
That's a good looking ship. It's got a good texture on it. Oh yeah, that zoom in for it. It looks like it has reflective plating almost.
Yeah. But once again, it's another very nice looking ship. And for KDF players, it is a reason to play KDF with a ship that is very nice. A lot of people is hating on it because it's not a bird of prey. You know, oh well, it's got the best turn radius in the game.
What's the current turn radius for this ship?
If let me get it up here. Turn radius going full speed with a balance setup is about 45 that tips out at. 41 is where it's at right now.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's not. Like I said, these, when at the base on the stats, is the exact same stats that the Jem'Hadar attack ship and strike ship has, and those have the arguably the two best ships for turn radius.
But now the KDF has something on par to that.
KDF. Every single pilot ship has 20 turn. Every single pilot ship was a 20 turn. So you saw me getting killed a few times. I'm not used to the 20 turn.
Yeah.
I overcorrected.
I'm used to when you turn, you're trying to pull the thing with you while you're turning. And I can see this, you're trying to hang on while you're turning.
Yep. Alright, let's pull out the tactical one real quick. I'm just going to do a quick little switch of a ship. Hopefully that'll...
Alright, I'm getting close. Going up on the KDF. Now which one is this, Scott?
This happens to be the tactical ship.
Now see, this is the one I would argue looks like a BOB.
It does. It looks like it very well could have been if they would have done a little pivoting on the wings as it goes into the body. That would have been a perfect bird of prey. Or even the further out on the edges, they could have turned it into a bird of prey that way as well.
But I think it's the engineering one has the downward swept wings. If you can switch out the wings in customization, you'd have a bird of prey right there.
Yeah, the science one would be the next one that comes out. The other one I had was the engineering one.
Oh,
so
okay, science then. That barrel roll, that nice.
These ships are. I'm having a blast with them by themselves.
I can't wait to have one of my own. It's the first ship since I bought my Odyssey, and I bought the Odyssey a couple of months before the ER. I was excited to finally buy it, but this, yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
and I don't even own one yet.
These ships are, it may not be necessarily the best ship for certain uses, but you can't argue with the fact that you have a ship that is fun to fly.
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's supposed to be half the gameplay anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean this is, it's not just about doing the DPS anymore. It's about a ship that can fly and do some damage.
And this can do both.
Exactly. Here's the science one coming out next.
This is the one that with the interesting design.
Yeah, because it looks like it had the the wings are slightly going down on it.
Yeah.
Let me move my HUD around real quick so we get a better view of it on my streaming here. There we go. So this is the interesting thing. It's like there's something underneath here, right about there. People that's watching this later on will be able to see this at the end here. It looks like they got something that's hanging out down on each side. A cannon or something, maybe. Looks like a cannon. So it's got what looks like cannons underneath the wings on both sides. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. And that is very KDF, and that's reminiscent of the Negvar.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so these ships, and then on top of it, it's got a very interesting design with it going on too. I like, these ships, like I said, they have design, they have characteristic. It's not just about a ship that can suit the purpose of whatever they came out to be. Like the command ships, big deal.
Yeah,
These things here, though, not only based upon how much fun they are, I mean, I could sit here all day long and flip and spin and not even care. I mean, to me, that is the entire fun with these ships, is this what you can do with this. And
absolutely, it looks like you're having fun. I mean, just bobbing and weaving and jumping back and forth with these pilot abilities. That should be half the selling point on them anyway.
And to me, that was the point. When I saw the videos, I knew at that point that was something that was going to be like, okay, this is a ship now.
Oh yeah. And they don't feel cookie cutter either.
No, they are far from it. I mean, this thing has fins in the back above the engine here. You see? I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw. I'd love to see it again. But they don't feel cookie cutter like the command ships. It just like they were very hardly different from one another, and they were cookie cutter. These, each one, they have elements that are the same from ship to ship, but
they're completely they're different. Yep, and they're different. Not just between the factions alone. They don't look like each ship was similar upon a base template. They're very different between each of the different versions.
I mean, I've got you zoomed up right here. The view I had, your nose was facing my camera close up. That is a menacing look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing the cannons, what looks like, it almost looks like there's an additional pair of cannons right there on the bottom of your nose as well. They're yellow.
Yeah, I see that. That could just be part of the deflector or whatever.
I don't know. It's a small ship, but when you have that kind of a view, when you're looking at a ship like that, you're just like, okay, you're small, but you're deadly. I'm going to leave you alone.
Yep. And that's the difference that the KDF has is their ships are meant to look fierce. They do.
Yeah, these fit the bill.
Hands down. The Romulan ships, they could have probably been a little scarier looking. I think that the out of the box tactical version was actually kind of nice. I kind of liked it. It looked like a warbird. The science one looked like a bug.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest comments. And to me, it's not like it's an ugly bug. It just didn't have my appeal. That's one of the first things that I did with that ship was to change the look of it. KDF, I probably wouldn't even touch these things. I'll just leave them as they are. Maybe see if there's a way I can improve it to make it a little more fearsome by combining them into one.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You could combine it into a pure bird of prey. I honestly think with the consoles, you can make it look like pure raptor or even micro vorcha.
Yep.
And that's what I like about the versatility of the designs.
Yep, exactly. And I think when it comes down to it, these ships are, like I said, I don't normally salute Cryptic. This is one of those times I have to say I do.
Yeah, this is one where you had to be like, okay, for a moment, I'm a fanboy. This is awesome.
Yes, they came out with a ship that I can see myself flying, and like I tell people, I have my ship that I do that's for fun, and then I have my ship that I do that's for DPS.
They don't have to be the same.
They don't have to be the same. And then even on some of those ships, I have my for fun build, like the cannon, dual heavy cannons. I would never have taken that into a 10k run on the DPS channels, even if I knew it could do 10k. I have an image I keep up over there.
Yeah.
But for fun and to pug it up just for the kicks and giggles, yes, I will take it out for fun.
I mean, I've been tempted to do heavy cannons. I mean, that's one reason why I want to do a science ship. It's because it would be a fun science build.
Yep. That was when
these are gonna push my science build out of the way.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I looked at doing the cannons with these pilot ships, because of the 3-piece set. I thought it was going to be possible for it to become viable. I can't say for sure yet. I think what's going to change the realm of things with a cannon build is if that console next week changes how much damage those cannons do by themselves.
True.
Now, I can't say that I'm the best cannon pilot around. I have to take some time to learn how to fly cannons again, but I think they will be a game changer, and I think that's one of the reasons why Cryptic has that set, and why they did not make a dual beam bank set.
True, because they were trying to push cannons.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting, was a dual beam bank for the Resonant Disruptor, and to not see it was weird.
Yep, and the interesting thing with these pilot ships, I mean, they don't have any sort of thing besides the 2-piece that makes it a must-have for DPS. If you want to, like for my case, if I wanted to reduce the charge of the reroute reserves to weapons, I would probably consider using the 2-piece for that purpose alone. And the cannon build, though, I can't say that I would use the 3-piece. I really can't. It wasn't worth it. It only did like a 300 damage increase as a whole, and there's a lot better uses I can find besides those two consoles.
True.
And that's one of the things that anyone watching this needs to realize. Some of these consoles are gimmicks. They're fun things, but they are not going to make it a DPS build.
Yeah, and that's what half of it is. I think is they're always going to release gimmicks that they look cool, and on a fun build they're going to be okay. But every so often they're going to release one that, hey, we really want to use this, really need this.
Yep, and I think, in all honesty, there is one going to need this for certain builds, and that is that micro projectile barrage launcher. That, because of its 25% damage that it does to mines and torpedoes, for a cannon build, or for a torpedo build, I mean, is going to be critical. That's a good 300 to 500 damage depending on the torpedo.
True. And you also have the barrage. So I mean,
Yep.
I do remember listening into Odin Knight, one of the premier torpedo build runners, and he was doing tests where with the right torpedo, the right buffs, and chemocyte, and I stress chemocyte because that has been a fantastic buff for torpedo builds. You can knock out someone's shields and a lot of their hull with one torpedo. Well, that micro barrage would be just enough to finish off somebody.
Yes, it would be. And I can see it doing the purpose like it did in the demonstration videos that they had for these sets. I can see it doing that type in that setup once the other weapons have done their jobs first.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as these are concerned, these are some great ships. I'm looking forward to leveling them up, to be honest, and basically just having fun with them. You'll probably see me in these more than anything else for quite a while. I'm thinking.
That's really interesting to see.
Yeah, everyone's so used to my scimitar, the destruction, that that's kind of become my symbol basically, and you're going to see me not in that for a while.
But it's like you said, it's a fun ship. It's going to be a nice change of pace for you.
Yep, and especially with this lag, with this lag, I don't care anymore.
True.
I will be honest. I'll take the ship and I'll go fly around sector space or somewhere and fly around and flip around and play with the things until I'm bored of it.
Yeah.
And so far, I've been doing this since 6. So.
Yeah, you haven't gotten bored with it yet.
No. Anyways, I'm gonna head on out of here, and one last flip before I turn off the recording.